So I think we would start now. I would like to welcome you to today's webinar. My name is Oksana. I'm from textiles.cat, and I would like to welcome to today's session with Mr. Radomir Putnik about the possibilities and opportunities for Saudi Arabian market. And as well, I would like to offer you some information about the xBUILD project, as well as why is this webinar and why Saudi Arabia generally. So I would like to share with you the presentation, a short presentation about our project. So the xBUILD-EU is a cross-fertilization of industrial ecosystem in 3 industries. And this is about textile manufacturing, construction, and advanced technologies. And the main objective is to build digital resilience in Europe. So, as I said, this project is looking to develop strong network activities and link advanced technologies with textile and construction, and also building bridges across all the 3 industries. During this project, we did have 2 calls for proposal, which are innovative, internationalization, green and digital transition. As well, we have series of webinars for capacity building and resilience building activities. One of the calls was internationalization, which was a global call. The main target was the Orient, and also one of the markets was Saudi Arabian market, which was included as well for clusters missions. So the partnership was organizing a cluster mission to Saudi Arabia, and as a result of this cluster mission, we discovered the opportunities in Saudi Arabia. As well, we was having some meetings and was looking for synergies and opportunities on Saudi Arabia for all 3 industries. For textile, for construction, and for advanced manufacturing. In the case of construction, we visited the Big 5 Construct Saudi, which is a big fair for construction. So we did have some input about the construction sector. As well, we did have a fashion commission, which was for the textile side, Chamber of Commerce, and as well KSA, where we was visiting some departments for advanced manufacturing, like 3D modeling and in medicine especially. And as well, we was meeting Radomir Putnik from Hub 5 Consulting, who will give us today the webinar. And we did have the most important information about how to found a business there and how to start in Saudi Arabia, and as well some business acumen, and as well maybe some cultural aspects and the way the business is started, or how the negotiations can start in Saudi Arabia. And this is our partnership. Textiles.cat represented by me. Then we have CTV Portuguese Textile Cluster, the CCS from Slovenia, which is a construction cluster, and Arteval Textile, and IDEAM Industry Cluster tools from Ireland. So I would try now to present Mr. Radomir. At the moment, we detect that we have some issues with connection. Radomir, do you hear me? So I think now it's fine.
No. Yes.
Sorry.
Now.
Once again, sorry for this technical issue. And yeah, I would like to present Radomir. It was a pleasure to see you in Saudi Arabia and to get at the first day and first moment the best tips so we can start our mission perfectly and in the best way. And now the floor is yours. And if you want to present yourself and your activities and how the European SMEs can better find opportunities in Saudi Arabia, and also for which sectors maybe as well. If you have some questions at the end, there will be open answer and question and answer session, and this will be possible via the chat. So you will give me a question and Radomir will answer with pleasure. So thank you very much. Radomir, the floor is yours. Sorry again for the technical issue.
No worries. Oksana, thank you so much. It was also my pleasure to meet you and your team from various clusters in Saudi Arabia. Like we solved the issue today, I think this is the business. It's always solving problems and it's just jumping from one problem to the other. If you agree, I will share the presentation with you. So just confirm that you will see what you are supposed to see. Can you see the screen? Oksana, just looking for your confirmation so I can start. Oksana, can I ask for your confirmation if you can see the screen? Because I cannot hear you now.
Yes. Everything is
okay. Then I will try to squeeze the presentation in 25 minutes, which is half of what I usually do. But anyways, I will not spend too much of your time. And as Oksana already mentioned, at the end, I will give you additional 15 to 20 minutes if you will have questions. So please write them down in the chat and Oksana will then collect them in the end. So I will jump directly to the topic. So I have experience in Saudi Arabia in the last few years as a consultant, but before I was working in valve manufacturing industry. So I have quite a good insight in what's happening in Saudi Arabia on oil and gas sectors and projects, but also in the last 6-7 years on everything that's related to Saudi Vision 2030 and so on. So let's jump into an introduction because we have to start from Europe. And Europe, as you all know, and as we all know, Europe, unfortunately, it's not having the best time of its life, especially if it's related to the economy, because we are seeing that the world is changing and is changing very quickly. The collaborations that we had and the partnerships that we have in the last few decades, it looks like it's not so obvious. So we don't know anymore who are really our partners. We are fighting about the tariffs and import taxes and so on. So it looks like we are in front of situation when we have to look for alternative markets that maybe were not so obvious in the previous decades, but times are changing. So we have to go with the flow. There is a strong point on which I'm working. It's related to energy, because in my opinion, and everything that I'm sharing today with you, it's based on information I have from outside and my personal opinions that are coming from experience. The countries that are not energetically independent are facing huge problems. I believe we can all agree that Germany is a big example of how changing the source of energy can change how much output in industry you have, because this is the market that is shaking all the stability in our region. On the other side, we are seeing the strong fighting, or let's say a battle or showing muscles between US and China. Unfortunately, here Europe, it's in my opinion just observing what's going on. We are not going into sharing our thoughts. Even if we are sharing our thoughts, most of the time we are just talking about things. We are not executing, we are not doers. We are just observing, commenting, but we are not in the first row. Maybe I will share this in a critical way, but this is my point of view. So from outside of Europe, because I consider myself having this alternative point of view on Europe, what I'm seeing that other parts of the world, which I will present here, are already looking for alternative ways on how to find partnerships, how to expand regions where they can do business, where they can grow their markets and connect with other people. So I will have now 3 slides in a row, so please be patient with me. The idea will come at the end. So it's not my point to go in details on what is BRICS and if BRICS is okay, it's not okay, if there is opportunity for us as Europeans in BRICS. But what I would like to point, it's the countries that are shown in this map. So just for a moment, please just look a pattern of these countries. So we will focus on that. We are talking about BRICS. Have in mind these countries. And now I will go to a second slide. I will start with the map. So we are looking almost to identical countries. This is not BRICS. This is China Belt and Road Initiative. This is initiative connecting countries with ports, with railways, with infrastructure related to support business and growth of economical output. And I will now be maybe, and please allow me for this presentation to be a little bit politically incorrect, but the map is showing something that I would like to point out. This map, in my opinion, it's almost the same. And the pattern that I'm seeing, it's showing that in this case, in last case, the countries that are painted in green are countries that recognized Palestine. So it's not economical point of view. This is purely political point of view. But my conclusion is coming from here that what if the West is becoming non-relevant in a worldwide economic aspect? And I'm challenging you to think about that, because if we put together all the Western world as we know it, we are counting on, let's round it to 10% of the world population. So now from here on, I don't want to talk anymore about the politics, because this is not why we are here. I will jump to Saudi Arabia and everything related to Saudi. So if we talk about Saudi, I think that most of us have in mind desert, like we have in mind center of Muslim or Islamic faith. And most of us, Saudi Arabia, it's linked directly to oil and gas. So few basic information about Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, it's a kingdom. It's 35 million population. The size of Saudi Arabia, once I put Saudi map across Europe, it's like going from Amsterdam to Istanbul, which is just showing the size of this country. And knowing everything about Saudi, it's impossible because it's a huge, huge region. What I can tell you about Saudi is that feeling that you have in Saudi doesn't matter how old you are, you will feel old, because the average population age is 29 years. So it's not like in Europe when I am average age, so it means over 40. In Saudi Arabia, the average age is below 30. So you can feel that when you are in the streets, you can feel a lot of these young people having huge expectations for their lives, huge expectations from their country, huge expectations that are coming also from the vision that the country has. And now, just for those of you who don't know, Saudi vision it's a project that was launched in 2018 by Mohammed bin Salman, who is currently leading the country. So it is still under King Salman, but Mohammed bin Salman as a prince is running most important points. Just few things on Saudi vision, and here maybe just to tell you, I will really go fast through these slides, but I will share all this presentation with Oksana, and she will take care to share it with you, because there are also some links that you can explore later and have much more information on Saudi. That said, just 3 main points of Saudi vision. It's divided in 3 verticals: an ambition nation, thriving economy, and vibrant society. And then after this, you have different sectors and programs which are working on implementing this vision. So this is already ongoing. If you visit Saudi Arabia, you can see in front of your eyes that this is happening. We are talking all the investments, all investments out of oil and gas, including women in work process, including women in society as equal members of society, which is something that Saudi Arabia was not that famous a decade ago. But many things are changing, and are changing in a very fast pace. Whoever visited Saudi Arabia knows exactly what I have in mind. Maybe here I will just point out one of the initiatives, one of the programs that is working on this vision. It's Saudi Public Investment Fund, and Saudi Public Investment Fund is now one of the players who's investing in a lot of projects in Kingdom, but also out of Kingdom. As today we are focusing on Saudi, I will jump to most famous projects in Saudi. As I mentioned, like you see here, NEOM is active link. So once you will receive the presentation, you can click there and find much more information about that. NEOM is composed among many projects below it. The 4 that we will talk about today are these 4. So let's just jump in. The line, it's probably the biggest one in size, because here we are talking about 170-kilometer city in a straight line, 2 meters of width, 500 meters of height, and 107 kilometers in length. As I'm coming from Slovenia, I can tell you that this is the whole length of my country. So believe me, the projects that Saudi has presented in the recent years are all giga projects. Like, it's not even mega project, this is a giga project. The plan is that here Saudi will have 9 million people living in this city. There will be no cars, no emission of CO2. The whole project will be powered by green energy, and everything will be sustainable on a highest possible level. Next project I would like to mention is Sindala. This one was already delivered. What you can see here on the left side on this picture, it's not a render. This was actually built in just 2 years. 2 years back, this whole island was just pure rock. Nothing was there, probably not even grass. 2 years later, the project is finished, delivered. It's a yacht center with marina and some high-end hotels. The idea is to connect this project with Mediterranean Sea, because if you can see in right side, Sindala, it's positioned directly out of Suez Canal. So once you cross from Mediterranean Sea through Suez Canal in the Red Sea, this is the first stop you can take and have some rest. So this is why they are positioning this project there. Next one is Oxagon. It's very close to Sindala, so we are still talking immediately when you come out of Suez Canal. This Oxagon, it's focused on merging high-end technologies, artificial intelligence, automatization, digitalization, growth of crops in dedicated areas, but also as a hub, because the idea is to have fully automated port for loading and unloading materials coming from Africa, Europe, and Asia. It's like a hub for connecting the economical path, which is connecting 3 continents. Trojena, it's one of the projects purely related to tourism, and this will be in Trojena in 2027, so we are talking in 2 years. Trojena will host Asian Winter Games. So Saudis will have a site where you can ski and you can have winter sports, which is, in my opinion, quite amazing, as we are seeing that already in Europe. It's very hard some winters to have winter sports. But anyways, I don't doubt they will succeed in that as well. So this is another interesting project, but this one is not part of NEOM. This one is a project inside Riyadh. Riyadh is a city of 10 million people living there. For me, it's fascinating just to understand that 40 years back, Riyadh was 1 million in population. Today, it's more than 10 million, and it's still growing. And project like this, New Murabba, is just showing that the idea for Saudi is just growth until probably 2050, which will be revealed in next few years. New Murabba, I will not spend too much time because you can check it on your own later, but is a huge project in Riyadh. Maybe another one worth mentioning, it's ongoing in Jeddah. In Jeddah, in this moment, there is a project on raising a tower which will be 1 kilometer in 1 kilometer tall. They are building, what amazes me and inspires me, every 4 days they raise another floor, which is, in my opinion, for European standards, amazing achievement. And while they are raising up a 1 kilometer building, in this moment they are receiving projects to build in Riyadh 2 kilometer high building. So I put it here in the bottom. You see some of the tallest buildings in the world, and on the left side you can see Burj Khalifa is actually tallest, then Jeddah Tower 1 kilometer, and then Rise Tower, which will be 2 kilometers. So it's not modest in any way. Like, Saudis have really clear intention to build the biggest and the best projects in the world. You can see from here that this is already ongoing, so we are not talking about visions and then no execution. What's fascinating that Saudi is executing projects at the pace that the world can learn how to do. On this chart, you can see the comparison about whole GCC area on whole Gulf area, and you can see that Saudi is already much bigger than UAE, which is, for most of people in Europe, a market that we know something about. Saudi Arabia, it's most of the time not on our radar, but Saudi, it's overtaking all the other countries in the region by you can see almost double in project value. So one of the projects that will be ongoing in Saudi Arabia, it's also Expo 2030. Like in this moment, we have Expo in Osaka, and the last one was in Dubai in 2020. The 2030 will be held in Riyadh. Riyadh is already building metro stations and airports and everything to build what's needed to host an event on that scale. Another huge thing that will happen in Saudi is Saudi will host the FIFA World Champion in 2034. So this is also ongoing. I can tell you that I've seen with my eyes in the last 6 months how Dammam is raising one of the stadiums, and it's crazy. You cannot believe the site is working 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. The day they announced Saudi will host the World Championship, the stadium was already 30 meters high. So they are not wasting any day on building this project. And the amount of projects is crazy. One of the projects will be built on top of the line. So it means the stadium will be on 350 meters height. There will be few of them in Riyadh as well, which are just astonishing to see how they are planning to build in the next 10 years all this infrastructure. So if you want to have more insight on the projects that are happening in Saudi, I really suggest you to find on LinkedIn Saudi projects and follow their page. They are publishing on almost daily basis everything related to these projects that are happening in Saudi, and you can see it's related to tourism, to new industries, which big companies are signing MOUs in Saudi, related to expansion in all direction, being it for tourism, for concerts and games, and like you name it. In Saudi now, in this moment, they are building projects of any kind. In Riyadh, in the center of city, they are building one of the biggest urban parks in the world. The size of King Salman Park will be 4 times bigger than Central Park in New York, just to give you an idea. And it's already an ongoing project. So one of the projects that I will just mention to explain you now the business model behind these projects. So what Saudi is looking for, Saudi is looking for bringing the supply chain to Saudi Arabia. So one of the examples I will give you, and this is happening on daily basis, companies from Europe, from United States, from many countries around the world, they are coming to Saudi to sign MOUs and later execute them with local partners. Some of them are purely foreign investment, meaning that countries from around the world can build their own realities in Saudi Arabia. And there is a big model where companies from Europe can find a partner and build a project together. The main idea is to bring added value to Saudi Arabia and to have the whole supply chain of manufacturing in Saudi Arabia. We are seeing here a Slovenian project related to a foundry of high technical steel, which is a huge thing, showing that Saudi will start from castings, do all the machinery, machining, and after machining, these components will go to automotive sector, it will go to oil and gas, it will go to pharmaceutical, you name it, to any industry. Because once you have foundries, you can produce whatever you like, and you are not dependent anymore on sourcing all these materials and added value from outside. To do that, Saudi has one of the programs. I will just mention a few of them, because in 30 minutes I cannot present you everything that's happening in Saudi in the last 10 years. But this is something that I find amazing for European companies. If you are planning to do a project in Saudi Arabia will support you by giving you support with up to 35% of the value of the investment, or up to 13 million euro, to build your project in Saudi Arabia and to start your activity. What you see here in the photo, it's not rendered. This is like a center of Riyadh. It's King Abdullah Financial District, where at the moment you have headquarters for more than 600 foreign companies who already established their headquarters in Saudi Arabia, so they can benefit from all the projects that are growing in Saudi Arabia. If you think that this is already good part, that Saudi Arabia will support you by investing your money and supporting you to bring your technologies to Saudi, maybe this will already also convince you that they are seriously doing these projects. Saudi Arabia is giving you an option if you are willing to transfer your headquarters for MENA region into Saudi Arabia means that all the activities your company might have in MENA region will be situated in Riyadh or in Saudi Arabia. You can benefit to have up to 50 years with zero taxes. So it means that the environment for growing your business in this region, Saudi Arabia will give you everything you need to start on big scale growing your business and have a predictability, because this is what I think it's missing quite a lot in the Western world. We don't have like a certainty or predictability what will happen with prices of energy, with import taxes, with anything related to growing long-term business. So that said, I will focus now on how you can have something from all these opportunities for yourself. So what we do in Hub 5 Consulting, we are connecting independent consultants from both sides. It means from Europe and from Middle East. So my role is to bring European countries closer together, because I worked for 20 years between Slovenia and Italy, so I already have an insight in difference of European economy. Believe me, when you are going to Saudi Arabia, you have to start from scratch, understanding what are their regulations, what are their specialties. And this is where I have on the other side a lot of business partners. And once I understand from Europe what European companies looking for, how they are planning to enter the market in Saudi Arabia, then my role is to find for you the appropriate business partners, appropriate agents, or someone who will make a JV with you, or anything. But if you are looking for any kind of services, this is the part that I can support you. So what we can say that we have in a better way, it's not what we saw. Like what we saw is that for many European companies, once they start exploring Middle East, they will get in touch with some local company, which in many occasions it's not even run by Saudis or Emiratis or Qatari. It will be run by expats who have some point of view, but this is the best option you can have. But going in discussion on which kind of consultant you should hire someone who will understand you. So you should hire someone who's coming from more or less similar environment like you are, understanding the pain you have in your country or your business or your industry, and understanding what is normal, like normal for you related to business, what's normal for paying taxes, what's normal for residency, what's normal for us in Europe. And this is how we can support you in understanding what is normal for Middle East. So to have this translation in the best possible way, because if this will go through an expat coming from Asia who has no idea about Europe, he will present you things in a completely different way, and it might not be the best solution for you, because you will have completely, in a way, good presentation, but it will have no value for you. So our main services are market research, because without any market research, it's very hard to then understand if these markets are okay for you, or how to even start, who are competitors and who should you work with, or who you should avoid in these markets. We are signing quite a lot of distribution and agent agreements. So for European companies to have someone who will represent them in GCC countries. Also finding partners for JV. So you can have partner who will support you in investing together and opening some sales doors. Also business setup, as I mentioned before, I want to point out again, European companies can open their own companies in Saudi and have 100% investment in their hands. So you don't need a Saudi partner to open your company in Saudi. And it's very fast, very easy. Like if you are fulfilling the requirements from Saudi Ministry of Investment, it's very easy process. Comparable to, let's say, UAE, comparable to Bahrain, Qatar. It's very, very to the point. You can have also insight in investing opportunities in Saudi Arabia. We do a lot of support for European companies to visit some of the most important fairs, like Oksana mentioned in the beginning, like Big Five. It's one of the events for construction, but you have in Riyadh everything related from pharmaceutical, automotive. There is all fairs possible. Everything is already happening in Riyadh. So it's good opportunity to maybe jointly visit those fairs so we can support you in understanding who are these players, who is who in the market, maybe arrange meetings with them after fair and support you in understanding what is behind the fair. Because if you will just visit the fair, you will maybe get a wrong impression. So you will not understand what's happening in the market. You will just get the idea who's trying to enter the market. And general consultancy, like I believe that before you go to Saudi, it's really good to understand the basic approaches on what's appropriate in Saudi, what's not appropriate in Saudi, how to prepare yourself. We are talking about basic things, like just to mention one. Please don't take that this is consultancy, but just a case not to embarrass yourself in front of your potential client, like how to drink Saudi coffee, why they drink coffee, how they drink coffee, and just to understand this cultural and maybe religious insights from their part, so you can prepare yourself to really go to the point of discussion and show that you are serious and you are showing interest in also understanding their culture before coming to visit them. So this is what I prepared, and I would really like to now jump to the second part, in which I will try to answer all the questions that you might have. And just before we jump to the questions, Oksana will share with you all these details, so you can find really much more information about that. I try to post as much as possible with my partners on LinkedIn to update what's happening in Saudi Arabia and UAE. This is the markets that we mostly focus on. So if you are not ready to make the next step immediately, at least try to get some ideas on what's happening and be prepared. If you are prepared and you want to start immediately your next step in finding your way how to enter the market, we are also willing to support you immediately. So that's for now. So Oksana, I give word back to you.
I would have maybe myself a question.
Okay.
For example, you showed us these giga projects. Other European SMEs has opportunity as well to participate in this giga project, or does the SMEs, because these are small SMEs, small and medium enterprises, and does they have a chance to enter in this huge projects, and does they need to invest something for it?
That's a good question, because these projects are really big and we have to be realistic how we can approach that. So the answer I can give you is that where I see potential is for European SMEs to approach companies in Saudi Arabia that are already working on this project. So it's, in my opinion, not possible to get directly to the line and ask how you can become supplier for something. But I'm really convinced that if you find appropriate company in Saudi Arabia who's already working on these projects, then with them you can discuss how you can have some potential collaboration.
And is this also possible via this fairs? For example, let us say from our project, we have a textile company coming from Spain, or from Catalonia, and they want to find the opportunities with a special product. Let us say we have some carbon fiber or glass fiber products, textiles, which can be for petrol, gas industry in Saudi Arabia, let us name, or automotive, what they should start as first. We understand that they can come to you to have 5 consulting, but if I'm SME, what can I start? What could be the first step?
So in my experience, and I'm not saying that this is the only option, first of all, you have to get as much information possible on what Saudi is working on, because I saw many times that companies come with us to Saudi, and then what they see is that Saudi, it's not same as Europe. So they are not looking for same identical products, but they will tell you many times, we are working on non-metallic. So everything you will have from glass fiber that can be used instead of steel, we will implement it easily, because this is a huge program from many, many companies. If you are planning to visit a fair, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. I would like just to point that the experience that I have, that many of our clients confirmed that visiting a fair with us gave them a much better experience, because we went together to Saudi. They've seen in the expo many companies from China, from Turkey, from Italy, and these companies, in many occasions, they don't have business in Saudi. They are just showing what they want to bring to Saudi. So if you go to these events, you might get a wrong impression what is Saudi market, because you will see what other companies are trying to sell to Saudi market. What is big value is to take these 3-4 days that you will take time to visit Riyadh, to arrange some meetings with people who work in your industry. And this is what we do. We will help you to use that 3-4 weeks of your times once you are in Riyadh to visit Expo, but also to visit some local companies that are working in your industry. If we agree to discuss directly potential collaboration, I'm just giving example, to immediately transfer your know-how, this is one option, but no one goes directly to that point. Mostly people are looking for an agent who will open sales channels for them in the beginning stage. And then in the next stage, if they will see that market is really open for their products or their services, then in the next stage, they will think about expanding more and then shifting more and more focus on these markets. So it's sometimes the Saudi market, we have to understand that they have everyone already in the market. This is a market that everyone is knocking on the door, and everyone wants to be part of these big projects, because in the next 10 years, I'm sure that whoever will show that they have reference from the line, they can work in any project worldwide. And this is why now the competition is very, very hard. I believe, and I will just use a quote from a friend of mine who said, in Saudi, you will find all your competitors, and you will meet competitors that you didn't even know exist, because really in these days, everyone is in Saudi Arabia.
Okay, thank you very much. If you have questions, you can place it on chat, and if not, I would like to inform you about the xBUILD, where you can find it. So, for example, you are writing xBUILD-EU in LinkedIn, so you can see all the activities as well in YouTube and on textile.cat in the project section, and to know more about this project and all the activities. And as well, you can find some more webinars in YouTube page. If there are no questions, I would like to thank you very much, Radomir. And after this meeting, I'm more happy to share this presentation and all the contacts. And as well, if you have some maybe direct question as well, then Radomir maybe will be happy to hear it more in detail. And yeah, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Radomir, and see you in the next webinar or in the next activity. Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.